Last week, Marvel Entertainment released a full-featured trailer for their upcoming animated TV show, What If? The show is based on the Marvel comic series of the same name, created in 1977 to explore alternate universes just for the fun of it. What If was hosted by The Watcher, a powerful being who observes and records humanity, and sometimes he likes to take a peek at other universes. Some What If stories revealed what would happen if a classic Marvel story had gone a different way, while others got quite a bit weirder. With the What If animated show starring Jeffrey Wright on the horizon, let's take a look at the best What If stories from the comics. Number 10. What If Civil War? Arguably, it is the most polarizing story ever. Marvel's Civil War pitted Tony Stark and Steve Rogers against each other. It started when the villain Nitro overloaded his powers and destroyed the suburb of Stamford, Connecticut, killing 612 people. This resulted in the government enforcing strict regulations to register all superpowered people. With Stark siding with the government, a large battle ensued between former friends that resulted in the death of Goliath, which symbolized a point of no return. The Civil War was finally ended with Rogers surrendering, but was assassinated by Crossbones walking up the steps of the courthouse to be tried for his crimes. What if Iron Man and Captain America tried compromising instead of resorting to violence? Instead of Rogers being gunned down, he and Stark come to an understanding of the responsibilities of superpowered individuals and create a system to ensure accountability while continuing to help people around the world. Number 9. Captain America 1983. Many of us know the story. Captain America gets frozen in World War II is thawed out when Namor the Submariner finds him and returns to fight for justice. In this alternate story, Cap is found in 1983. However, by that time, a deluded soldier has already taken up the mantle to give America the Cap his twisted mind believes they need. The new morally twisted Captain America is obsessed with the rooting out communism from its perceived hiding places in America. He succeeds in championing a series of policies that effectively turn America into an isolated police state. The real Captain America, Steve Rogers, once thought actually at first believes he is in Nazi Germany rather than USA. He joins up with Nick Fury to start an underground resistance. Joined by Spider-Man and J. Jonah Jameson, they slowly began to take back and heal our wounded nation. Number 8. Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four. The inaugural issue of the What If comics, this story focuses on a key moment in the early beginning of Marvel history. When Peter Parker was first starting out as Spider-Man, another group of people acquired special abilities, the Fantastic Four. Trying to figure out ways to earn some more cash, Spider-Man breaks into the Baxter Building to audition for a spot on the Fantastic Four. Events would play out where the group ultimately turns down Spider-Man, but when Spidey is swinging away in this altered story, Sue Storm calls out to him to wait. The team recruits Spider-Man, turning them into the Fantastic Five. They prove to be an effective team, though Invisible Girl realizes she is no longer needed with Spider-Man there. Although she loves Reed Richards, Sue also loves Namor the Submariner and chooses to live with him in his kingdom under the sea. Number 7. Phoenix did not die. One of the most powerful mutants in the existence, Jean Grey's story is truly a tragic one. Returning to Earth on a mission, the X-Men's space shuttle was engulfed in a solar system. Jean managed to telepathically pilot the damaged shuttle to land into Jamaica Bay. Marvel Girl should have perished due to the intense radiation of the solar system, but emerged from the depths as the legendary Phoenix. In her transition, Phoenix demonstrated devastating power. Phoenix thirsted for more energy and absorbed the star debris, obliterating the surrounding solar system and the 5 billion lives that resided there. Fearful of the Phoenix Force, Jean helped Charles Xavier install mental blocks to contain her power. With Jean now back in control and less dangerous, Princess Lilandra Neramani of the Shire Empire sentence Phoenix to death for the destruction of the solar system. In the ensuing battle, Phoenix reborn, but before losing complete control forever, Jean sacrificed herself. Although the universe was now safe from Phoenix, losing Jean was a heavy price for the X-Men. If Jean survived, she might have controlled the Phoenix Force better at first, but soon fallen again to her hunger for power. And without Jean's help, Professor Xavier is no match for Phoenix and everyone's worst fear are realized. While Jean's death was heartbreaking, it proved fateful and her hypothetical survival is a swift reminder to be careful what you wish for. Sometimes the grass is not always greener on the other side. Number 6. Wolverine defeats the Hulk. These two have fought numerous times, usually with Hulk coming out on top. In this story, Wolverine is able to finally finish off the Hulk. Having defeated one of the most powerful creatures on the planet, his ego gets a little inflated and his temper gets a little shorter. He ends up killing few people in a bar fight. Wanted for murder, Wolverine joins up with Magneto's Brotherhood and is sent to infiltrate the X-Men. Easy assignment until he falls for Jean Grey. As you knew it would happen. The story writes itself when Wolverine realizes he's a jerk and repents. He confronts Magneto and the pair end each other in the resulting fight. Number 5. Punisher is taken over by Venom. This kind of story became pretty popular for a time. Writers and fans obsessed over what it would be like if the Venom symbiote had taken over other Marvel heroes. It usually ended up with said hero becoming evil and considerably more violent. However, what if the hero or anti-hero was already like that? In this story, things initially go as you would expect. Frank Castle is taken over by Venom and gets a cool new outfit in the process. Interestingly enough, it's Castle that starts to take control over Venom. He is able to exert his control over the symbiote, utilizing Venom to wage a much more efficient war on crime. Number 4. Invisible Girl married the Submariner. Most of the what if stories are one-off adventures, but in rare cases like this, a sequel might be warranted. Continuing the story of the debut comic that saw Spider-Man join the Fantastic Four, Sue Storm begins her new life with Namor under the sea. The Submariner used a machine to alter the Invisible Girl's molecular structure so she can survive underwater. Although Spider-Man aids the Fantastic Four in defeating a slew of villains, he is no Sue Storm. Soon the team fractures, leaving just Reed Richards and Johnny Storm in the Baxter Building. Accepting Sue's decision at first, Reed is now determined to win her affection back by any means necessary. This story symbolizes the importance of fighting for the people you love and not taking them for granted. It's just like the old saying, you don't know what you got until it's gone. Number 3. Cable kills the X-Men. This story looks at how vitally important certain mutants are to the foundation of the X-Men. This alternate tale looks at what would happen if Cable detonated a bomb and took down Professor Xavier, Cyclops and Jean Grey. Without their leadership, the X-Men seem to lose all functionality and disband, leaving some to be easily taken down off by other supervillains. Wolverine forms a loose band of heroic mutants, while Magneto decides to seize control over the American government. Sentinels are called in to repel Magneto via nuclear attacks. Wolverine loses his mind and is left roaming the post-apocalyptic world with a ragtag band of surviving mutants. Number 2. Fantastic Four get different superpowers. The Fantastic Four get different powers. As Ben Grimm grows insect-like wings, Sue Storm gets Reed Richards' former powers, and Johnny Storm becomes a Metal Man, aka Mandroid, and Reed Richards becomes a brain. Yes, you heard me right. Reed Richards becomes a brain that floats around. Doom captures the brain, which somehow can still communicate, and the two have the weirdest conversation imaginable. Doom fights the Fantastic Four and Reed Richards finds himself in control of Dr. Doom's body as the Watcher quotes poetry from Thomas Lynch. The comics ends bizarrely as Doctor Doom, as Reed Richards stands triumphantly as Mr. Fantastic with a 4 on his chest and a blue cap. Number 1. The Silver Surfer wielded the Infinity Gauntlet. The Infinity Gauntlet is one of the most powerful, iconic weapons in the Marvel Universe. So when Thanos the Mad Titan became in possession of it, the whole of existence was put in danger. With the combined forces of the Avengers, X-Men and Adam Warlock, Thanos was defeated and the universe restored to its original state. Even though Thanos ended up being defeated, there was a moment in the battle where things ended up differently. When Thanos is fighting Captain America, the Silver Surfer made an attempt to rip the gauntlet from his unsuspecting grasp. In our reality, the Silver Surfer fails, but here, the Herald of Galactus succeeds in stealing the Infinity Gauntlet. Instantly consumed by the overwhelming powers of the Infinity Gems combined with his power cosmic, the Silver Surfer is overcome with a godlike complex and omnipotence. Luckily, the Silver Surfer's love, Shalla-Bal, is able to persuade him to relinquish his godlike powers and destroys the Infinity Gems in the process. So this was it. 10 best stories you should read about What If storyline. I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Comics Man, and if you did, then don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.
And ponder the question.